If you are confused over why WP proposed a motion in Parliament and then voted against it, watch on so that you can sound smarter during your kopitiam talk. So, for a start, you need to know what the motion is, and of course, also what a motion is. On 5th August 2026, Workers' Party MPs Kenneth, Tiong and Jamus Lim introduced a motion in Parliament about Singapore's future economy. Now, a motion is basically a proposal asking Parliament to express a position, make a decision, or call for something to be done. Members can debate it, propose changes to it, and eventually vote on it. It's not a law change, but more of like prepare to do more on certain issues, which is why it's usually rather broad. So, the WP motion call for a more equal and inclusive economy, where entrepreneurs can experiment, businesses can succeed, workers can thrive, and innovation can flourish. It also called for an economy driven by strong local companies, healthy domestic demand, and Singaporeans and Singaporean capital expanding overseas. A major part of the debate was about small and medium-sized enterprises, or SMEs. In other words, small businesses. Jamus Lim argued that Singapore should place greater emphasis on developing strong local companies and entrepreneurship, instead of depending as heavily on foreign investment, multinational corporations, or MNCs. In other words, putting more focus on local small businesses. Here's the thing, the government said that there's a plan for this, and it's called Economic Strategy Review, or ESR, which was announced last year, with its full report published in June this year. Second Minister for Finance Jeffrey Siow said that many WP proposals, such as helping SMEs expand overseas and developing more Singapore global enterprises, were already included in the ESR. You see, the idea is that SMEs and MNCs are stronger together. Mr. Siow disagreed with WP's idea that Singapore should significantly shift its economic model away from MNCs. According to him, SMEs and MNCs do not have to compete against each other. MNCs bring investment, technology, international networks, and jobs into Singapore. I mean, just ask your friends and you'll know a few of them working at MNCs. I know you also will know because you know friend. Local companies can then become suppliers or partners to these MNCs, gain capabilities, and eventually expand overseas themselves. Therefore, the government's position is that Singapore needs both. In addition, Mr. Siow also said the government provides nearly $2 billion in direct grants to local SMEs every year. In fact, he said some existing schemes are not fully utilized and that the Ministry of Finance could provide more resources if demand increases. Interestingly, this debate also came just days after the government announced another support package of around $900 million to help households and businesses cope with continuing economic pressures from the Middle East situation, so they have been helped. The government's argument was that policies should consider this trade-off instead of simply reducing individual business costs. Minister for Trade and Industry, Energy and Industry, Tan Si Ling, also pointed to the government's broader economic strategy, arguing that Singapore needs to remain open to global businesses while strengthening local companies at the same time. He said the government's approach is to help enterprises raise productivity, innovate, and expand into new markets, rather than simply protect them from competition. A business owner also said something. MP Ng Si Xian, who runs Power Market Battery and Hardware Trading, similarly said that MNCs and SMEs are not competing but reinforcing each other. I mean, there are already examples of homegrown brands growing internationally through the system, like Secret Lab and Castlery. Yeah, I bet you didn't know Castlery is a Singapore firm. So, in other words, the argument is that there are already help and a plan for that, and we should embrace both SMEs and MNCs. If so, does that mean that the motion will not be passed? So Parliament didn't pass motion? Well, no. If you are looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many big brands have trusted us. Just click on the link in the description. Instead, the motion was amended. PAP MP Edward Chia eventually proposed 4 amendments to WP's motion. One important change replaced the words notwithstanding the ESR with in line with the ESR. So here's the thing, WP disagreed with that change. Kenneth Tiong argued that WP wanted Parliament to support the goals themselves, without suggesting that the government's existing ESR was necessarily the way to achieve them. After around 9 hours of debate involving 24 MPs, the amended motion was passed, although all 12 opposition MPs voted against the amended motion. I know you are now dying to know more about the ESR and how it can help SMEs, but that will be a 20-hour video. So you can check out the link to the 84-page PFD in the description. Now, remember I mentioned about extra help for SMEs due to the ongoing Middle East situation? Watch this to know about the extra help. Also, if you want to advertise with us, even as a standalone video, do contact us. Our website is in the description, or you can scan this QR code. Thank you for spending almost 5 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.